Hello everyone, I'm going to make this video very simple for those of us that would like to start beading bags but we don't know how to go about it. So I got 2 packets of 500 grams of 10 centimeters beads. These are in a plastic bead, so the bag will not be very heavy. So I got 2 packets, and to get the accurate measurement of the beads you will need, I used a measuring cup, one cup. So inside 1 packet of 500 grams, you get 3 measuring cups, and I used 2 packets, so you need 6 in total of the measuring cups. And I started with 4 beads. I put all the 4 on my fishing line. The fishing line I used was 0.7 millimeters in size. You can also use 0.6, but 0.7 is okay for this design so that your bag will come out very firm. So I started with 4 beads and I locked with the 4th one. Then my step 2 was to 3 beads. So you put 2 beads on one side of the fishing line and 1 bead on the other side of the fishing line, and then you interlock with the 2nd bead on your fishing line. It is so easy. Just follow this video, you will see how easy and straightforward it is to make a beaded bag. So I'm going to repeat the step 2 till I get to 19, row 19. So I'm going to, in total we are going to make 20 rows, but when you get to, continue to repeat my step 2 by picking 3 beads. You put 2 on one side of the fishing line and 1 bead on the other side of the fishing line, and you interlock with the 2nd bead you added on the right side of your fishing line. So continue to repeat this step 2 until you get to 19. You get to row 19. Okay, so when you get to your row 19, make sure you count and you have 19 rings. So to do the 20th ring, remember we have been putting 2 beads on the left and 1 bead on the right. This time on row 20, on your 20th row, you are going to put all your 3 beads on the right side of the fishing line. You can see everything is on one side of the fishing line, all the 3 beads. Then you pick the 3rd bead you added and you interlock with it. Once you interlock, both of your fishing lines should be coming this way. Both ends should be coming out of the 20th ring this way. Then to start the second row, you are going to repeat the same step by picking 3 beads again, and you put all the 3 beads on one side of the fishing line and then interlock with it. So row 20, 3 beads on one side, interlock with the 3rd bead. Then to start your second row, you repeat 3 beads again and you interlock with the 3rd bead. So this will bring you to row 2. So we are going to do this in a total of 9 places. So repeat the step 2 I did in the first row. So you pass one of the ends of the fishing line into the bead going up. So you will be having 2 beads and we are making a ring of 4. So you keep adding 2 beads until you get to the 20th ring again. So now I'm going to continue with the step 2 by adding 2 beads on one side of the fishing line as shown in the video. Interlock with the 2nd bead you added. So this is very simple, it's very repetitive, so just take your time and then you can listen to the music at the same time so that you don't get bored. So keep passing one end of the fishing line to go up into the next bead, and with the other end of the fishing line you are going to add 2 beads to complete it a ring of 4. So now you are adding 2 beads on one end of the fishing line, and then you are going to interlock with the 2nd bead you added to complete that ring. So this is what we are going to do till we get to the 20th bead. Okay, so you can see I'm repeating the same step, nothing has changed. It's going to be repetitive, so that's why there's I decided to add music at the background so that you will have something to keep you company while you do this step. So this is a very easy beginner's video for you if you are making a bag for the very first time. So enjoy the music while we finish this second row. Okay, so at this point my fishing line is too short to continue, so please pay attention to this very part. If you are bidding for the first time, you are going to come across this same issue. So when your fishing line gets too short for you to continue your bag, you have to pass the both ends of the fishing line into several beads like I'm doing in the video. So I'm going to go into several beads to reinforce the fishing line and the work I have done before. So I'm going to pass both ends of the fishing line to meet at the center, then I will tie it off, tie both ends twice before trimming it off. So I'm supposed to do this in a separate video, but I decided to include this, so please pay attention. So both ends of the fishing line are at a point and I'm tying off firmly. After passing both ends into several beads, you tie both ends together firmly. Once it is tied, you have to hide the knot from showing. So to hide the knot, you pass any ends of the fishing line into any of the beads and then you pull the knot into place. So I'm using my beading plier and I'm gently going to pull the knot inside one of the beads. So once you do this, your work will look neat and professionally done. So at this point, you can trim off the excess fishing line. So once it's trimmed off, you have to take a new fishing line and you pass it into the bead, this very spot where you stopped. You are going to pass the new fishing line to where you stopped, and that's where you are going to continue working from. So when you're working and your fishing line is too short, don't panic. Pass the both ends of the fishing line into several beads, bring them both to the center, tie them off firmly, and remember to hide your knot. When your knot is showing, it doesn't make your work look neat. So you hide your knot. For this, you are going to need a beading plier as well. You can get this in any bead supply shop. So once you pass the new fishing line into wherever you stopped and you continue working from there. So that's where I stopped. I've passed my fishing line and I'm going to continue now with 2 beads, and I'm going to cross with the second bead I added. So it's very simple. You can slow down this very part so you can watch very clearly how to attach a new fishing line when your fishing line is too short to continue working. So I'm just going to continue till I get to the 19th ring of this bag. Then the 20th ring, I'm going to show you the next step to do. So right now I'm on the 20th bead. So you pass your fishing line into the 20th bead, and this time around we are going to put 2 beads on the right hand side of the fishing line, or on the left, depends on how you are comfortable holding your work. So if you observe, we have been putting everything on the right side on this video, but when you get to this very part, after passing your fishing line into the 20th bead, you are putting this time 2 beads on the other side of the fishing line, and then you cross with the second one. Once you've done that, it will bring you to the 3rd line of your work. So please take note of this part. So once you've done that, you will see both ends of the fishing line are facing the same direction. Okay, so to start your 3rd row now, you're going to start with 3 beads. You always start a new line with 3 beads. So put all the 3 beads on the outer side of the fishing line of this video. Then with the inner fishing line, you interlock with the 3rd bead that you added. So this is to start any of these rows. You start with 3 beads on one side. So once you've done this, your work should be looking like this. Both ends of the fishing line coming out at the top bead. This time around, you are going to start by passing, as we have been doing before in previous rows, pass one end of the fishing line into the next bead going up. So you are going to do the same thing till you get to the 20th bead. So I'm going to enter into the very next bead with one end of the fishing line, and with the other end of the fishing line, I'm going to add 2 beads. Then I interlock with the second bead that I added. So your work should look like this, like we've been doing in the previous rows. Interlock with the second bead, and then we continue this step 2. Continue repeating this step 2 till you get to the 20th ring, and then we will repeat the same thing again. So I'm going to continue till I get to the 20th bead. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Do subscribe. Click on the subscribe button, and also click on the notification bell, because there is going to be a part 2 of this video. So once you are subscribed and your notification bell is on, when I upload the part 2 and the final part of this video tutorial, you will be notified and you can watch how to conclude your bag. So remember to hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So keep watching, guys. I appreciate you all. You can do this. And you can see the final, how it's going to look like, the base of the bag. So you are going to do 20 rings into 9 places. So you are going to repeat this same step 9 times. This very step we are doing, we're going to repeat this 9 times. So 20 by 9. So again, I'm on the 20th bead. I'm repeating the same thing. So this is how every time you get to the 20th bead, this is the step to do. You're going to pass one of the fishing line into the 20th bead, and you add 2 beads. With the second bead, you interlock both ends of the fishing line. So now our third row is done. Okay, if you can't, you will see 1, 2, 3. That's 3 rows. Now we are going to row 4. So we are going to do this till we get 9 of this. Now we are doing row 4 now. Okay, so we are already starting with 3 beads. Put 3 beads on one end of the outer part of the fishing line, and with the third bead you added, you cross with both ends of the fishing line. Once you do this, it will bring you to the start of row 4. Okay, so each time you want to start a new row, you have to do this. Then you continue with this second step. You pass one end of the fishing line into the next bead going up, and with the other end of your fishing line you add 2 beads and you interlock with the second bead you added. So this is the step 2. You will keep repeating till you get to the 20th bead. Remember, on the 20th bead, after passing your fishing line into the 20th bead, one end of the fishing line, enter into the 20th bead. Then add 2 beads on the outer part of the fishing line and interlock with the second bead you added. Then it will bring you to the beginning of the next row you are about to start. So I'm just going to finish row 4 and then we'll continue the rest. So this is the 9th row. So I did 20 rings into 9 places. So right now I'm on the 9th row and I want to start building the body of the bag. So you have to count each step. You count and make sure your rows are accurate. Your length is 20 and the breadth of the bag is 9. So 20 by 9 will give you an accurate measurement of the bag. Okay, so now I'm going to start by building the body of the bag. I'm going to weave round the matting. A matting of 20 by 9. I'm going to build around it to get the full body of the bag. So now once you've done that and your fishing line is still very long, you can continue working with it. But if it's short, pass it around, tie it and trim off the ends and start with a new fishing line. So my fishing line is still very long, so I'm going to start building the body of the bag with the same fishing line I've been working with. So once again, you start with 3 beads on the outer part of the fishing line, and with the third bead you interlock both ends of your fishing line with it. So this will bring you to the beginning of the body of the bag. So we are going to work in a ring of 4. So there we have 4. Now you're going to pass your one end of the fishing line into the next bead on that line. You're going to go around the matting of the bag. So once you do this, you're going to have 2 beads on both ends of the fishing line, and we are doing the ring of 4. So we have to add 2 beads to the outer parts of the fishing line, and the second bead added, interlock both ends of your fishing line with it to get your second row of 4. So we are going to keep on repeating this step 2 till you get to the one but last of the matting, and then we will have to step up. So continue doing this, and then I will show you on the last bead how to step up to get to the next row. So at this point we are building the body of the bag. So continue with your beads, continue watching, get a cup of coffee, relax and just continue. continue doing this. Don't rush, relax, and take your time. At this point, I'm on the last bead now, so watch what I'm going to do to step up to build the next round of the bag. So remember, we've been passing into one bead, so on the final place you're going to go into two beads, one bead at the center and one bead to go up to step up. So I'm entering the center bead. This is in the last spot where you are beading. When you get to the final part, you are going to enter into the last two beads, one at the center and one going up. So you can slow down the video at this point so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So at the final part of the bag, you have to go into two beads. So as you can see in the video, both ends of the fishing line should be coming out of three beads in the very last part. So at this point, you are going to pick one bead to complete a ring of 4. So pass your one bead into one side of the fishing line and interlock with both ends. So this brings you to the end of that row. So we finished the first row of the building of the body of the bag. So now we are going to build this 9 times. So at each point when you get to the final part, you have to enter into 2 beads. So now we are starting the second bridge, the second part of the body of the bag. We are still starting again with 3 beads, okay? So put your 3 beads on one side of the fishing line and interlock both ends of the fishing line with the 3rd bead you added. So once you do that, it will bring you to the beginning of the second part. So both of your fishing line, after passing, you're going to pass. You keep passing like we've been doing into the next one bead. So once you pass, you will see both ends of your fishing line will be coming out of 2 beads. So at this point, you're going to add 2 beads to complete 4. So you add 2 beads to one side of the fishing line and you interlock with the second bead you added. So you lock both ends of the fishing line with the second bead you added. Then you pass again into the next one bead. Go into the next one bead with one side of the fishing line. So once again, both ends of the fishing line are coming out of 2 beads. So now you are going to add 2 beads again. We are going to keep repeating this till we get to the final passing of the bead. So continue watching while you do yours. Pass one end of the fishing line into one bead. Then pick up 2 beads and drop it on the other end of the fishing line. Then you interlock with the second bead you added. So this is what we are going to keep repeating till we will step up again. So we have to do this 9 times. We will go round the bag 9 times. So keep enjoying the video, and please remember to hit the subscribe button. Your subscription means a lot to me. Keep watching, and I'm going to show you how to step up to do the 3rd row again. If you haven't subscribed at this point, I encourage you to do so, as I'm going to be uploading amazing videos on this channel. So once you subscribe, each time I upload a new video, you will be the first to see it, because you will get the notification that I've uploaded a new video on the channel. So continue repeating your step 2 and add your 2 beads, interlock with the second bead you added until you go around this mat. So once again, we are back to the stepping up. So this time around, we are entering 2 beads like we did in the previous first row. So enter into that center bead, pass your fishing line into that center bead, and then you step up by entering that next bead going up. So once you do this, you add 1 bead and you interlock both ends of the fishing line. So we've done 2, so now you are going to do 7 more until you get 9. You can also do 8 or 7 or 6 steps, depending on how big you want the bag. But for this video, since we have a ring of 20 by 9, I'm going to go around 9 times. So we've done 2. Go ahead and do the remaining 7, repeating the same step. Don't miss any step. Remember, once you get to the final bead, you are going to pass one of your fishing line twice to step up. So if there is any part at all that you still need assistance in this first part of this tutorial bag, leave it in the comment section and I will do it answer. Alright? So go ahead and do yours till you get to the 9th row. For the body of the bag, we have to go around the whole matting 9 times. So remember to start with 3 beads and interlock with the 3rd bead you added. So that's the very first step. Start with 3 beads, then pass one side of the fishing line into 1 bead, pick up 2 beads, drop the 2 beads on one side of the fishing line and interlock with it. So we are going to keep repeating this step till you get 9. Once you get 9, you pass into several beads, tie off your fishing line and trim off the excess. Remember to subscribe, please, and subscribe so you can keep seeing more of my videos. You don't need to search for me. Once you're subscribed, my videos will come up on your YouTube feed. So if you are still watching at this point and you have not hit the subscribe button, go ahead and subscribe, because you will get amazing, very simple tutorials on this channel. You can use any color you can find, but make sure it's size 10 centimeter bead and your fishing line is 0.7.